Right, everybody, welcome to today's Ubiquiti LTU webinar. My name is Elmo, and as part of my portfolio here at MiRO, I do take care of Ubiquiti as on a product management platform. And I'm quite excited today to share with you some LTU news, which of course is the Generation 3 technology from Ubiquiti. But before we get stuck into all of that, I just quickly wanted to remind you that there is a chat box. All of the questions can be asked after the webinar, and then we'll have an open discussion if there are any questions. Right, let's get into Ubiquiti LTU webinar for today. On the agenda, we're going to have a quick introduction with MiRO and who we are and what we can provide you as a business partner. We're going to discuss some of the industry challenges, wireless era and how airMAX fits into that, and then of course the benefits that airMAX has in a point-to-multipoint network. The advantages of airMAX technology, of course, referring to the LTU technology, the product placement with regards to the base station and the CPES that are available in the LTU. And then, of course, we're going to have an overview on the actual UNMS system, which is Ubiquiti's free centralized management platform where you manage and monitor your networks. Right, let's start with why MiRO and who we are. Now, on the left-hand side, you can see that we've been in the industry for the past 18 years. And since MiRO was founded in South Africa in 2003, we've just expanded to an exponential rate, and eventually our industry with our knowledge led to the company building a formidable proven track record in supplying powerful, flexible and scalable solutions. Now, MiRO has positioned itself as a responsible supplier to growing the IP convergence, and then of course joined the JSE listed company as a result. You can see there that we are a proud BEE level 4 contributor, and we also export to 35 different countries around the world. We currently have over 170 staff members based throughout our 4 South African branches. Those branches are, of course, Nelspruit, Centurion, Durban, and Cape Town. We also have a branch in Kenya. For those of you that have seen some of our online items and may have seen some catalogs here in our offices, you'll know that we are well stocked with over 2,500 items in our catalog. We also managed to ship 95% on orders on the same day. And the reason why we are able to do that is because we are a distributor that keeps stock on hand. And truth be told, we move a new product every 12 seconds. And as per that little picture there on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see we far exceeded the 640,000 items sold in 2019. But now, all of that being said, what are the value adds that you can expect as a business partner? We'll start with our tailor-made solutions. The tailor-made solutions are made available, as I've said, to all of our business partners, whether it be for a once-off application or whether it be for a project or a full network solution, for instance. Our team is constantly updating their knowledge to ensure that we stay relevant with the market and even setting some examples. A complete solution. So to be among South Africa's leading distributors of wireless and networking, VoIP, and of course IP video products means that we have to only have the best of breed products, ensuring we find that solution just specifically made for you. The benefits of having a vast product platform means that we have products to assist in Wi-Fi and broadband solutions, such as indoor and outdoor Wi-Fi 6 access points. And with mobile and LTE, we have products such as MiFi, and then of course the latest trend, let's be honest, the Wi-Fi 6 routers. With infrastructures, we've got quite a big portfolio with masts and brackets and cabinets and even outdoor safes to protect your hardware from theft and of course severe weather. We also have a formidable power and solar solutions portfolio. So if you guys want to know anything about that, please let's chat afterwards. From our VoIP portfolio, we have brands that showcase phenomenal conference attributes. We'll talk about GrantStream a little bit later, the platform that we're actually using to do this webinar with, but all the way through to enterprise solutions, from supplying unified communications, product placements, etc. Our security portfolio also consists of indoor and outdoor surveillance hardware with additions such as facial recognition, and of course our latest access control equipment. With fiber, we have pretty much everything that is required for a fiber network infrastructure, which includes, of course, your OLTs, your ONUs. The only thing that we do not stock at the moment is fiber cable. We also cater for IoT requirements, such as gateways, which can work with your existing network solution, all the way through to 3G fleet management routers. Support. Per the slide, you can see that the service and support is our main focus at MiRO, and our highly trained technical staff will be able to assist you with full solution planning and will work in conjunction with your dedicated sales engineer that's been assigned to your account. If you do not have an assigned engineer to your account yet, please talk to me afterwards and we will definitely assign one to you. The training support that I'm referring to also with regards to, the technical support, we are referring to things like link planning, which we will get into a little bit later, which is also a free service to you as a business partner. Okay. We also recently launched our support at, we also launched our platform where you can connect with us. It's a service offering type of platform that we'll be able to come to you in support in the essence of having a site engineer come through and assess what is happening with your network, for instance. But let's take in consideration also that we do have COVID-19 regulations. So if there are any queries surrounding this, you can mail support@miro.co.za, and then we'll be able to assist and set that up. With legal compliance, MiRO is a stockholding distributor, as I've mentioned before, and it is the proud market leader with type approvals for all of our products. This, of course, ensures a steady supply of legal equipment in accordance to ICASA's regulations. Financing, MiRO offers two finance options in partnership with IPFin. With a run rate account, MiRO offers a 7 to 30-day account, but you're also welcome to apply for a hardware finance option, whereby you can do the finance for either your own account or you can pass it on to your actual client. You can get in contact with any of our sales engineers, as I've mentioned. If you do not have someone assigned to you already, we can chat about that, and then we can do a quick and easy online application if you do not have terms with us yet. Right, let's have a look at training. We're very proud to be associated with the best, having our very own MiRO Academy. Okay, this platform is available to all of our business partners, where you can enjoy the convenience of training online, especially if you don't want to send your whole team through to a training center. You can do things online now, from certified training courses to our products, all the way through to introductory courses, introducing you to various aspects and applications in the telecommunication industry. I do want to talk about training and what is accessible to you after this webinar, because we've got quite a couple of cool webinars coming up, training sessions, and yeah, let's see how we can assist you in getting you guys trained up. The training calendar is also available on MiRO's website, miro.co.za. Right, that was a mouthful with regards to the introduction of who MiRO is. Again, I just want to reiterate, if you need any additional assistance or you need some information, I will put my personal details in the chat box, and then you're welcome to connect with me anytime. So some of the industry challenges, we want to have a look at why WISPs are choosing wireless communication, and I'm sure that most of you can relate to some of these points. I recently returned from WAPA conference in Polokwane, and basically what the guys were talking about was fiber infrastructure and how it is currently affecting the wireless industry environment. So again, I have said this before and I'll say it again, it is with no doubt that we are definitely in an era where wireless is ever changing, with different demands that needs to be assessed. If you consider consumers, for instance, they're always looking for bigger and better connection with more speed, all the while they enjoy the convenience of a wireless connection. I'm sure some of you might know, even in your own households, what that looks like, whether it be a cell phone or a laptop. But if you look at WISPs, for instance, especially if you're starting up, and the reason why I'm saying starting up is because LTU is a proprietary type of technology that we will get into in a minute. But we see a lot of new WISPs starting with LTU due to this revolutionary technology and, of course, future-proofing your link. But that is why WISPs are choosing wireless communications, because they need a solution that will put them one step ahead. And if you consider how far we've actually come with technology in the last couple of years, there always seems to be some sort of problem or situation hindering the progress. So if you think about, and again, this came up on the conference with estates and big property developments, they're not always so keen to dig up their newly paved roads to do fiber, for instance. Trenches are expensive, and the deployments in high density areas, as I'm sure many of you know, will also experience noise interference. Sometimes you need longer distance links that can generate poor performance, especially if there's no clear line of sight available. And to top it off all, of course, many network deployments require expensive software and licensing fees. So yeah, it's not particularly ideal if you are a startup WISP or if you're starting a new link. So the benefits, therefore, having something like a centralized management platform that is free is definitely something that will count in your favor. Yeah, this is accessible to entrepreneurs, which means that there's low cost deployment, benefiting your return of investment. And there's always a growth in demand for broadband, and your services therefore can be applied to various sectors such as homeowners, businesses, public, and even private sectors. airMAX in a wireless era. As I've mentioned before, we are definitely in that era. And wireless networks were originally planned, if you look at the picture there on the right-hand side, for coverage only. But with all the as I've mentioned, the smartphones and the tablets and laptops, etc., out there today, wireless networks must be planned for capacity. Okay, many companies in high density areas hit an uncanny barrier almost in the development of their network infrastructure as soon as they need to expand their current setup, which is predominantly where we see the need for a lot of growth. And when you start with LTU, as I will mention in the next couple of slides, it will assist you in future planning your scalability or your scalable solution requirements. Okay. Yeah, if you think about it, you need to provide high bandwidth. You need low latency connectivity for multiple sites. Obviously, this is a point-to-multipoint solution. And you've got sites kilometer or the radius that will differ. You can have a 2-kilometer link or you can have a 20-kilometer link. Yeah, and it's not always possible for you to deploy wired infrastructure, such as fiber, for instance. You need to also think about providing reliable connectivity to several applications. Let's talk about specific devices, for instance. So if you look at CCTV cameras, access monitoring, those type of things is predominantly done over a wide area, and you either cannot deploy or you wish to avoid deploying a wired infrastructure, which is why Wireless, again, will forever be in demand. Okay. You wish to ensure things like redundant connectivity to multiple sites. And of course, as I've mentioned before, some of the examples on these applications will be something like a public sector. If you think about, let's say, a university with multiple campuses, yeah, normally a couple of kilometers apart, this is the perfect type of solution. Then if we look at the scalability of things, the growth in popularity of new wireless devices will continue to increase. Okay, your network needs to have the ability to start small if necessary, but expand in terms of coverage and capacity as needed. Okay, and essentially you don't want to break the bank, so you don't want to build an entirely new network every time you need to scale your solution, or you've got new customers that want to climb onto your network and you are not able to provide. You need to also have a smart way of managing the entire network. As I've mentioned before, through UNMS, you've got a centralized point, and deploying a network management system like UNMS, it will give you that type of ability to do that and so much more. We'll talk about some of the features of what UNMS is. And as I've mentioned before, it's a free platform. Okay. Now this is where the fun starts, introducing airMAX LTU and the benefits that it has for a point-to-multipoint application. It is definitely Ubiquiti's Generation 3 technology. And as you can see there, the first point for me is to start right and future-proof your link. Introducing on the left-hand side, the Ubiquiti LTU Rocket. Okay, this guy is the first point-to-multipoint base station radio in the LTU product family. It operates on a 5 gigahertz frequency band, and the LTU Rocket is spectrally efficient, which means that it's noise resilient. And the point-to-multipoint access point specifically designed for wireless ISPs. Okay. Primarily, the features consist of 600 megabits per second in a point-to-multipoint performance, up to 125 client connections per access point. You're looking at 2 million packets per second, and of course, it has proprietary RF filtering. Now, this all sounds very promising and all well placed, but what does it exactly mean for a wireless ISP? And where are we with performance? So as I've mentioned, LTU is a new proprietary technology with a custom designed silicon chipset. You'll see that the radio infrastructure, the architecture of the radio kind of looks the same as the other radios, like the Rocket Prisms, for instance, or even the 5X HD on air fiber. But it's the chipset that matters. Okay. It obviously has a breakthrough through the limitations of 802.11 Wi-Fi technology. And through this, it enables the LTU to deliver far superior performance over previous airMAX products that are based, of course, on 802.11 AC, for instance. Now, the sad part about this, or rather the bonus on this, is that LTU is a proprietary technology, and as many of you might know, Ubiquiti doesn't necessarily play well with others, even its own kind. So if you are deploying LTU, it is not backwards compatible with legacy or AC range. That being said, if you consider that your LTU Rocket is your base station, we've got 3 various options on the CPES in actual fact. And why I'm mentioning that is because it is designed for WISPs from the ground up. Okay, it has core communication processing engines. It will enable things like low latency, longer ranges capability, DFX flexibility, higher constellations, better power output, and improved receive sensitivity. LTU rocket is designed to be paired with a variety of antennas to suit the needs of each installation. Now, as I've mentioned before, the sector antennas, generally the AC units, are to be used with these rocket radios in whatever type of setup you need, whether it be a 90 degree, for instance, or a 120. They all fit with the LTU rocket. Okay. Now, if you have a look at the clients, it says in between 10 and 20 megahertz channels are now reachable. It is due to the fact that these radios now operate between 10 and 50 megahertz channels, which means because of the frequency split that this radio uses, in other words, your TX and RX signal moves independently from each other, it means that you can now reach more clients, which means that you now need one radio where you can reach a whole bunch of new clients where you previously were not able to, which means that there are more clients on one radio, of course, that has a direct cost implication as well. So, but we'll get into that a little bit later when we discuss the CPEs as well. The radio includes a mounting bracket that allows it to be used with a 5 gigahertz sector antenna, as I've mentioned before. But what I do want to also talk about is some of the RF antennas. Let's have a look through those. So the RF element horns are phenomenal. If you visit us in our showrooms, please come and have a look at the wireless boardroom. I'll meet you downstairs and I can actually show you how these units work. But as I've mentioned before, these units is the best third-party horn antenna that you can get on the market. 100% my humble opinion, but it is what it is. These antennas are made for noise interference, and let's be honest, noise interference is a very big threat to any wireless ISP. With these RF antennas, you are assured of noise rejection due to the fact that these antennas have no side lobes, making them immune to RF noise. These units also come with proprietary twist port adapters with no RF cable. So if there's no RF cable, you can imagine what that means. It means that it's super easy to install. Like I said, we've got a set that's up in the wireless boardroom. Please visit us and I can actually show you how quick and easy it is to install these. You are also able to deploy multiple of these units on a tower, which of course comes again at a cost factor, which is perfect for a high density type of application. If you can place your radios closer together, you don't have to put another radio up on another tower. And that's basically where it comes from. And these antennas are high gain and highly directional, using their radiation properties for their distances. High density areas, the deployments where the links need to be a little longer if you need a little bit of distance. And as I've mentioned, it is achievable now through their narrower beam widths. Okay. There are two types of horns. There is the asymmetric horn, and then of course the symmetrical horn that you've got there on the right-hand side. Okay, both of these have got different twist port adapters that will accommodate the LTU rocket radio. Now, the advantages of airMAX LTU technology, my apologies, today is hitting me hard like a Monday. So the tolerance for interference is obviously something that is on everybody's lips with regards to high density deployments and why LTU technology is perfect for outdoor wireless networks. Okay, it is not new, the deployment of rockets in high density areas. We're trying to reach people with higher throughput, but it's becoming more and more in demand. And it's also becoming a little bit more intimidating because it's hard to account for all of the variables. MiRO has been assisting our clients with outdoor wireless designs for quite some time now. In the last couple of years, as the possibilities grew within the wireless industry, the customer demands trended. So why I'm mentioning this is because in the previous MiRO slides, I've mentioned that we do link planning. And we need to sometimes take a moment to realize where Ubiquiti has started to understand and appreciate why Ubiquiti is where it is as a leader in the wireless networks. And in the link planning that I've mentioned is an added value benefit for you as a business partner. So you need to please connect with us with your geographical points. We will then do the link plan for you, which we'll talk about in the UNMS slide with AirLink, where we will be able to assist you with a comprehensive quotation, how high your radio needs to be, what type of CPEs you'll be able to see from your radio, what your throughput is going to be, your Fresnel zone, all of those things that you need as a wireless ISP, we'll be able to assist you. Okay, and it is a free service that MiRO offers to our clients. Of course, as I've mentioned, the link planner and everything that goes with it. But airMAX in a wireless era, as I've mentioned previously, the markets have expanded and the demands have changed. And one of the desired outcomes when it comes to a wireless type of infrastructure is throughput. And of course, throughput to your end client devices. I've spoken earlier about the laptops and those type of things. So your data capacity sits at the top of the list of features which will determine the network provider you choose. And if you can provide good cover, good throughput, then there's no reason for clients not to approve you as a network provider. So if you understand both the current requirements and allowing for the growth over the expected life of your network, then your head is through. Capacity planning, as I've mentioned before, is an integral part of the network design process. So please let us assist you with that. No problem at all. The CPEs, there are 3 CPEs that are available from the Ubiquiti airMAX LTU family. Again, as a reminder, it is the first end-to-end customized point-to-multipoint platform Generation 3 technology. There are no subscription fees. It is affordable with enhanced features. As you can see there, 1024 QAM. You can do central configuration management. The frequency split is just as much part of the CPEs as it is the radio, with your TX and RX moving independently. You've got auto power adjustments, and then of course you've got router mode as well. The 3 CPEs at the bottom, you've got your LTU Lite. As you can see there, it's obviously got a little bit of a closer distance to the radio. At 10 kilometers, your LTU LR. That is obviously your furthest CPE, and then your LTU Pro. Okay. But with those type of kilometers that are suggested there, those are obviously data sheets. And we, as I've mentioned with the link planning, we'll be able to assist you with this and get the proper throughput and, of course, the link. Right, the UNMS side of things, the Ubiquiti Network Management System. So important to note that this will allow you to configure, upgrade, and monitor several different Ubiquiti devices. And the best part of it all is it is free. Okay. With UNMS, you can deploy your airMAX networks with no software licensing or support fees. With features such as AirLink, I've mentioned earlier, you can simulate your link to determine line of sight, your Fresnel zone, the link budget, and expected throughput. The convenience of deploying customer radios is now available from a smartphone or tablet. The app is available from App Store and Google Play, and you can schedule mass network updates as well through system monitoring and overall performance analytics. Those are all features that you can pull from the UNMS system. At the bottom there, you can see UCRM, which is basically your operations and accounting side of things. Everything you need to run and scale your ISP business. You can do customer billing, set up plans. You can even suspend services to the point where they have to pay you. and of course much more. Now, I've mentioned the AirLink previously, a service that MiRO has. Now, AirLink basically will provide you with a fair indication of your network before deployment. That's basically why you would want to do AirLink. You'll be able to simulate your link with your prospective signal strength based on the product capabilities. So that, of course, entails your CPEs, for instance. I've mentioned the Fresnel zone clearance and other location requirements that will be, of course, available when we do the simulation. Okay. Change your channel width to the spectrum allowed, and of course this will then indicate the best throughput for your link. Okay. There's also, if you click on the generate terrain coverage on or as part of UNMS, this will enable you to see what the terrain coverage is, which means you do not have to add all of the CPEs in your network to see what type of service you'll be able to get. Okay. I have to also add here that there is another way of configuring the LTU rockets via the LTU configuration interface. So basically there are two ways, either through UNMS or through the LTU configuration interface. This option lets you manually configure the LTU rocket, and the LTU rocket will then be used or can be used to automatically configure the stations. And on each station, use the Find My AP feature to scan for APs using the same channel bandwidth. Okay. And then, of course, you select the appropriate LTU rocket, and then you use it to configure the station. Okay. Let's have a look at airMAX LTU in conclusion. It's got unmatched superior link performance. It avoids local interference by utilizing frequency split. Remember, that is where the TX and RX signal moves independently from each other. It is perfect for long distance links, flexible bandwidth, cost disruptive, and of course your GPS synchronization, which will improve your synchronization and allows maps and Fresnel views on the actual dashboard as well. So GPS synchronization. That is me for LTU technology. Yeah, it's third generation Ubiquiti proprietary technology that is creating quite the storm on a point-to-multipoint application. We do have stock available at MiRO as well. So if you want to do a POC, for instance, yeah, talk to me, have it tested, and then let me know what you guys think. Before we conclude, upcoming free webinars to join for MiRO in the upcoming couple of weeks. Of course, we've got IgniteNet in a point-to-point 60 gigahertz solution. I have another webinar running on the 4th of May where I'm going to talk about how you can remotely manage your Ubiquiti unified devices. If you haven't seen the previous 3 webinars pertaining the Ubiquiti Unify access points, how to set that up, etc., please visit our YouTube channel and or our website for some of those videos. And then, of course, like I said, that's the end of the range, is remotely managing your Ubiquiti Unify devices. Then on Teltonica on the 6th of May, we've got the introduction to Teltonica telematics, and then of course Ciclu, which is doing a smart haul wireless network design engine. It's going to be an interesting one on the 11th of May 2021. Right, thank you guys very much for joining. It is greatly appreciated. As I've mentioned before, it's a privilege always to do these type of free webinars. But before we go, I also just want to quickly give a shout out to GrantStream, the platform that we are actually using to do these webinars through. If you need more information with regards to GrantStream and their world-class type of VoIP solutions, you can visit miro.co.za or you can talk to me afterwards. I also will be sending through an email with regards to more LTU news. I've got some good incentives for you guys that have joined this webinar with regards to discounts. And then I also want to introduce you to 1 or 2 of the actual training videos that we've made available to you as people that have participated for this webinar or with this webinar. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Thank you guys very much. Is there any questions? Right, Ian, I see that you've asked what is the max distance horns can be deployed in 5 gigabit band in a point-to-point link. I just quickly wanted to ask, if you ask in a point-to-point link, what radio are you referring to, Ian? So Ian, the LTUs are predominantly for point-to-multipoint solutions. We've got various degrees on that. So you've got your 30, your 60, 90, etc. Obviously, the wider the beam width, the closer the distance. Yeah, so I just wanted to make Philip, are you online?
I am, yeah. Elmo, I just wanted to suggest, sorry, there's a bit of an echo on my side. You can unmute the participants. So if you just want to have a quick discussion, it might be a bit easier.
Philip, can you suggest a distance for Ian with regards to the LTUs and, let's say, for instance, an asymmetric horn?
Sorry, Elmo, I missed that question. Just ask it again.
Just to answer Ian with regards to the LTU and an asymmetric horn or a symmetric horn from RF Elements, he's asked what is the distance that it can hit in a point-to-multipoint solution.
Okay, cool. So excuse the echo on my side if there is one. So on RF Elements, typically we suggest no more than 10 kilometers on the horns, depending on which ones you take. Obviously, the more focused, the better the distance you can get. And that's also the recommendation from their side. But then again, we have seen customers that get distances of 12 to 15 kilometers around about as well, with no problem at all.
Does that answer your question, Ian? I've unmuted you, but I think you are still muted on your side. But I think that kind of answers the question.
All right, thanks, guys. Philip's answered my question. Thank you, guys.
Perfect. Thanks, Ian.
Pleasure.
Great. Yeah, is there anyone else with any questions? I'm going to put my personal details in the chat box, so please feel free to reach out to me with regards to anything that you've seen here, the LTU product portfolio in general. Please feel free to connect with me, and then we'll take it from there. Also, if you need any additional information with regards to the value adds that MiRO has, with regards to technical or training, I'll be happy to assist, but you will soon enough receive my mail with regards to MiRO Academy, and then of course the incentive that we're running with LTUs. Right, that seems to be it for everybody. Again, thank you for joining me on this Wednesday. I know it's been quite a bit of a challenge of a day trying to get back into work after public holiday, but I appreciate that you guys made some time for me, and please feel free to connect with me. Alternatively, within the next week or so, this presentation will be made available to our YouTube channels and of course the MiRO Academy. So if you guys need anything from this presentation, please let me know. Thank you, everybody. Have a good and blessed day, and we will chat soon.